All right, so this is hillbilly. Why is the rates so low? Well, for one, the produce area is too compromised. There's too many foreigners that have compromised the lands and the farmland, and as well as the trucking industry. See, when COVID happened, there was a mass amount of people with anything over a 580 credit score going by a truck, and most of them was foreigners. Now back to the land situation. China, well, I think Dr. Phil did a story on this or whatnot, but the land is owned, like the buying power of the land is owned by China. I lived in California, and every person that I dealt with as far as property I had to deal with were Asian. I don't have a problem with them, no. But they have a problem with America, and they have infiltrated the system secretly by various ways. And the prices of trucking is always going to be low at this time because everything is owned by foreigners, and they trying to cripple us from our ability to buy things, especially land. So yes, we get our consumer goods or whatnot, but it's always at a price that's unnecessary. And Smithfield as a company is owned by Chinese individuals. And that's just some of the ones that are known. Like, they have guinea pig people being presentations about the company, but they're not. The people behind the scene are actually Asian. So the prices are always going to be low with our transportation because they're trying to cripple us from not being able to feed ourselves and shelter ourselves. And they've also gotten into the market of our ammo. And how do I know this? I know this because I drive. I know this because I go to different warehouses. I know this because I talk to people. And you know what? I'm American African, so they don't mind talking to me because I don't pose a threat. I have never posed a threat. None of my people have posed a threat to anything. For if we did pose a threat, we all will be dead by now because we would have revolted a long time ago over the misuse of how they treat us as a people in general. But America feel as if I have the American African in bondage, then I got the spirituality of God in a net. And the Caucasian American has his focus on the wrong thing. His focus needs to be on the foreigner, but he thinks the foreigner is his friend, and therefore he's able to conduct business with him based off of money. It's the greed. It's the greed of the Caucasian American that has caused the downfall, really. So the farmlands that the Asians own, they lease those farmlands to Arabs. And Arabs are the farmers. Most of the farmers in America are Arabs now. I don't know if y'all know that, but this is a fact. And they are the ones who growing our food. Okay, and what they growing them based on, we never would know. Also, the ammo. I went to a warehouse not too long ago, actually last week, and it was owned by Arabs, the warehouse alone. Okay, and then I picked up ammo. The ammo casing. The casing of the ammo is owned by Arabs. So I know Caucasian Americans are all about their guns and things like that, but you don't even know where your bullets come from. You don't even have a clue. You'll be putting your stuff in there and you'll end up like Bruce Lee with a blank, but it's really a live round, and then you end up shooting, and then boom, it backfire in you. So be careful. That's all I can tell you. It's necessary for truckers to be more military because we have eyes everywhere and we are everywhere. Now, the government, I don't know if they'll ever wake up to the fact of we need more soldiers in the ground, but you need to have more soldiers in the ground. It's really chaotic out here. Just with phone companies, everything is just so third world now. Every single thing is third world because they trying to cripple us as a nation. You know, when you want war, you go to war silently. This is the art of war. Okay, and then in Okinawa, Japan, the prime minister, his favorite speeches is to always talk about what the older people have told him about the bombings that happened in Okinawa, how the people had misfortune, and so basically with him constantly repeating that, it says to me that he has a chip on his shoulder that he trying to get off at some point. Because they have the military force to do it. And I wish Caucasian American was more non-cowardly about, and I'm saying it because, you know, it makes no sense to pick on the people, the blacks or the American Africans in a country to where we've already been crippled. We've already been subjected. We don't pose no threat. We never have. Like, it makes no sense. We are non-violent people. We're spiritual people. That's our nature. And for them to constantly seek us as far as keeping us boxed up in ghettos. You know who the ghettos is owned by? You know who that all that property is owned by? You know who all those buildings is owned by? They owned by Asians. You're a real problem. But, you know, they don't see it. You know, they so busy looking at me or looking at us in a derogatory way to where they missing to the real problem. But no, they think just because a few of them marry outside their race and marry them that they're their friends, that they are cool and cooperative. They just puppeting you. And you don't see it. But as far as the trucking world goes, man, the rates are going to stay low because all of the products and the way that they're sold now is owned by the command of others who wants to cripple us. Now, what can you do with that? You have to delete them out of the equation. And how do you do that? I have an option, and it all depends on the operators becoming the only resource possible to where we transport goods and services. The companies needs to be eliminated from being able to transport. Owner-operators need to be the main source of all transportation. No company should be able to transport their own goods. They have to use an independent carrier. An independent carrier based on a certain contract that is, you know, in my mind that I need to get out. But nonetheless, you know, as long as we want to continue to go with the charade, like I said, truckers, we should have done stopped the trucks for at least 3 days and not move not a single thing and get some demands met, like PSPs and all that unnecessary stuff put onto the trucking industry that causes a problem for us having effectively good drivers. And then you lower the age for the bracket, and now you just created more of a hectic problem and danger because less experienced and immature individuals don't know how to handle this lifestyle as a trucker. It's a sad thing to see, you know, that everything is dwindling right before your eyes. But you know, what can you do when you don't have much of a voice? What do you do when you don't have a large number of people? What do? You can't get heard. You're not making no noise. The noise ain't being heard. The noise ain't being understood. You know, these are just some thoughts on mine while I be out here and I be dealing with some of this stuff. Okay? Like I said, everybody went out buying a truck. Most of the companies out there on the West Coast, Northern California mainly, is owned by Arabs. Most of the independent owner-operator businesses are owned by Arabs in California. That's why California is so in a noose. A lot of people don't even want to go to California because it's just ridiculous. The prices are far ridiculous, and then the gas is too high. Then when you working on your piping system, you know who working on the piping system, the undergroundness in the Northern California and the surrounding states. You know who working on the underground piping system? They're all Arabs. They're all Arabs. But Caucasian America ain't paying attention to this. See, I can't help but notice this because I go all over the world and I observe things and I pay attention. You know? But nonetheless, man, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You know, all I can say is keep your wheels to the pavement, your eyes on the road. You know? It's hillbilly. I get at you.